Next on ABC7's Good Morning El Paso Weekend, Street Fest takes over downtown for a second day and well into the night, finally getting some relief from sweltering temperatures. That extreme heat nearly setting records, scorching Sun City residents and people across the region. El Paso County itself continues to grow, now into areas outside of any city more than any time before. And storm track weather, Iris.
That ABC7 first alert still in place because those temperatures are not cooling down today. I'm going to let you know what you can expect for your Father's Day coming up.
This is all the news you need to start your Sunday, June 19th, Father's Day. ABC7's Good Morning El Paso Weekend starts right now.
Live, where news comes first. From the Mesilla Valley and Las Cruces to El Paso and the borderland. This is ABC7's Good Morning El Paso Weekend.
This weekend is all about that heat in the borderland with a high of 108 degrees yesterday in El Paso. It's the hottest day of the year by far. ABC7 went out to see how people were dealing with the heat. Some chose to go on with their regularly scheduled outdoor activities, but of course had to find ways to stay cool. It's not too hot out yet this morning, but get ready for temperatures to quickly spike throughout the day. So good morning, El Paso, and thank you for joining us. And of course, happy Father's Day. I'm Andrew J. Polk. Let's get right to your storm track weather now. Storm tracker Iris Lopez is tracking whether we can expect the temperatures to be just as hot as yesterday. Right, Iris?
That is right. It is going to be a hot day. Not quite as hot as it was yesterday, but nonetheless, hey, triple digits. That is pretty hot. Happy Father's Day, by the way, to every father out there, grandpa, uncle, all of you. You're going to have a hot day. Sorry, if you don't like it, I apologize in advance. 80 current temperatures right now here in El Paso and Las Cruces, already warming up. 79 over in TRC, as well as Deming, 82 Silver City. We've got 77 Guadalupe Pass and 68 up in Ruidoso. A closer look at those temperatures across the city. Rosa Guerrero Elementary School at 89. Here on the west side of town at the KVIA studios, we are at 85. We've got 84 Texas Tech House Science Center and Fabens. You are in those 80s as well, with 81 as your current temperature. Your day planner, it's a hot one. Count how many times I say hot today, and then I'll give you a high five, because I'm going to be saying that throughout the day. 104 by 4 o'clock, that's the expected high. Then 102 by 6 o'clock with those sunny skies still in place. I'm going to answer these very important weather questions, like did we break a record temperature-wise? And will the temperatures ruin your cookout? Plus, I'm going to help you plan your Father's Day temperature-wise. All of that coming up. Andrew?
Thanks, Iris. Check back in just a bit. The heat didn't stop thousands of music fans from enjoying the 15th annual Street Festival in downtown El Paso. Yesterday was the second day of this year's fest, but everyone knew with the scorching temperatures, hydration and finding ways to stay cool were going to be essential. So how did they get through the heat? ABC7's Jerry Nahara spent his day at the fest to tell us.
Saturday evening, thousands of people came out to celebrate the Street Fest. I want you to take a look behind me. It is packed from end to end. The temperature didn't start to cool down until about 8:30 in the evening. Most people we saw out here had one technique or another to stay cool in the triple-digit temperatures. As the gates opened at 6, festival goers trickled in, but with the temps hitting 108.
I thought it was going to be a 105.
About 107.
Oh, it's extremely hot.
People took to some music under the shade. For those working the food trucks,
Probably 120.
they say if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. I spotted some El Pasoans with spray bottles and straw hats.
Spray myself, keep my hat on.
Got to keep the sun away from your face too, because you'll get sunburned.
Others preferred some refreshments to stay cool.
Definitely lots of water with ice.
Well, right now I'm drinking an ice cold shock top right here.
And snow cone booths were quite popular.
I'm from New Hampshire, so Texas heat is very different.
Organizers of the Street Fest also opened up the Abraham Chavez Theater for people to escape the heat.
Right here, I'm drinking from this bar inside for now.
The fest also included a car show, but a few spectators weren't there just for the cars. Be honest, are you here to check out the cars or are you escaping the heat?
I might be escaping the heat a little bit.
And this evening, the most creative award for keeping cool goes to Leti Evero.
My technique was to go buy a bandana to help support the Orlando, and also I asked if I could fill it with ice, so I have ice filled in my bandana, and it is keeping me comfortably cool.
The good news is we talked to paramedics and they tell us no one had to get treated for dehydration. Reporting for Good Morning El Paso Weekend, I'm Jerry Nahara.
And the high temperatures can not only be uncomfortable, but they can be dangerous as well. We have a first alert is for the borderland. The National Weather Service warns to be on the lookout for signs of heat illness like thirst, red skin, cramping, exhaustion, and then lack of sweat. The heat can really wear some people down, particularly the elderly, but some people we caught up with yesterday tell us that they just improvised.
Just trying to stay hydrated and change my my activities such as swimming indoors and just stay cool.
We are expected to see another triple-digit day, so stay hydrated and if at all possible, stay indoors today. And an update to a story we brought you as breaking news yesterday morning. Police say a woman is dead and alcohol and speed played a factor in a crash. It happened yesterday shortly after 2 a.m. on the 1300 block of Zaragoza. That's at the intersection of Zaragoza and George Dieter. Around-the-clock news crew was there on the scene while police were investigating. Police say 25-year-old Stephanie Marie Bueno was speeding south on Zaragoza. As she approached the curve, she lost control and hit several poles and trucks at a car dealership. 3 passengers were ejected from the car, including 24-year-old Jessica Olvera, who died at the scene. 27-year-old Kenneth Duran was taken to Del Sol Medical Center with serious injuries. At this point, no charges have been filed. And President Obama is spending his Father's Day weekend as a way to promote awareness for what he says is the biggest threat to our national parks. The first family toured the caverns in Carlsbad on Friday, then flew to California, where they toured Yosemite National Park. The Obamas spent Friday night in a rented cabin in the park. The president says he wants more people to appreciate and visit America's national parks as the system nears its 100th birthday in August. President Obama talked about the importance of preserving our national parks and forests and shared his views on climate change.
The biggest challenge we're going to face in protecting this place and places like it is climate change. Make no mistake, climate change is no longer just a threat, it's already a reality.
The president also addressed the economic boost parks provide to local communities, saying the industry supports 6 million American jobs a year. And El Paso County is growing, particularly in unincorporated areas, and that's creating new challenges for county government.
There are some parts of the county where it seems seamless from the city of El Paso.
Commissioner Vince Perez represents most of the unincorporated areas of El Paso County in Precinct 3. The rapid growth, even in just the past few years, is forcing county leaders to face issues of infrastructure and services that counties usually don't address.
As the population is growing, many of these areas are going to be filled by homes. This is becoming a new issue.
According to the U.S. Census Bureau, El Paso County grew about 4.5%, or by more than 35,000 people between 2010 and the most recent estimates in 2015. That's translated into almost 20,000 new housing units by estimates, and new developments are stretching into previously desert areas outside any city's limits. That means that services usually addressed by cities are now becoming a focus of the county by necessity.
We've invested about $200 million in new roads just in this part of town alone to help alleviate the congestion that is now going on to I-10, to help alleviate the congestion along roads that aren't fully complete like Pelicano or Rojas, because while they might be complete in the city where there's been extensive work done as the population has grown, we're now dealing with areas further east.
And officials say horse races at Ruidoso Downs will go on after 2 barns were put under quarantine. Friday, a horse tested positive for the equine herpes virus and was euthanized. The equine's herpes virus is contagious and can spread from horse to horse. Jockeys are being asked to take the temperatures of their horses twice a day. Officials are also working with jockeys to clean and disinfect any surfaces or items that have or may come in contact with horses. More than 70 horses at Sunland Park Racetrack tested positive for the virus after an outbreak earlier this year. Officials say there is no need to halt racing at this time. And a DNA testing company will soon launch in El Paso and provide jobs for local grads. According to our news partners at the El Paso Inc., Minerva Genetics is the first biotech startup tenant to be located in the brand new Cardwell Collaborative building. It's a $29 million research facility that just held its ribbon-cutting ceremony on Friday. The facility is located in central El Paso and is named after the businessman and community leader Jack Cardwell. On Monday, Minerva will move into the new lab and should begin the hiring process in about 6 months. For more on this story, pick up your copy of the El Paso Inc. Other stories this week include why small businesses need to start planning for the new overtime rules now, even though they don't start until December, and what a national burger and fries place likes about El Paso as it expands in the Sun City. El Paso Inc. is online at KVIA.com and available for home and business delivery. Call the number there at the bottom of your screen, 534-4422, to subscribe. And with the temperatures melting the borderland this weekend, how are you finding ways to stay cool? Coming up, ways to keep safe from the heat while still keeping your Father's Day plans. And later, the Sherpa wildfire continues to blaze across parts of the East Coast, threatening homes, roads, and more. It is 8:10 right now, taking a live look at traffic this morning. I-10 in Hawkins, a few cars out there for the start of your Father's Day Sunday, but otherwise no major problems to report. There was an issue earlier this morning on I-10 in Lee Trevino eastbound that has been cleared, and so there are no other major problems to report. And storm track weather, Iris.
I'm talking about that heat. How hot are you going to get today? Plus, we'll help you plan your Father's Day Sunday. All that and more coming up.
You're watching ABC 7, where news comes first.